pulled smoked ham. And how we do it to make a month's worth of lunch meat. A full ham and bone. First things first. Trim it up. Have it dry. We already did that. Make sure there's no little plastic circle. Yeah. These ones, this gets a little rough. So we want to trim all. With it being pulled, I like to get all the excess fat off, which you can then save for other stuff. But I don't sausage at the moment, so we just go to take it off. There's too much fat left in there. Tally cats. Put your cat behind. Observing. Making sure I'm not screwing up. Hey there. Okay. Okay. Now that we have trimmed the fats, I simply score it. Okay, now we're scored. We're done with this. Which hand do I want to use? Take one glove off. So after we've got it nice and scored, trimmed, we got to put a basing on, or at least a binder. I like to use the yellow mustard. All right. Now our best thing, now we gotta do our seasoning. Today, we're using Suckle Buster's Honey Barbecue Rub. I haven't used this on a ham yet, so I'll be interested to see how it turns out and, give it a good coating. Give it a just nice, good coating. And usually what I do, I'll do this and let it sit overnight. You can do either or, but we're gonna let this sit for a couple hours before I get it onto the smoker, and we will return when that time comes. And today we'll be cooking on our Pit Boss PV7 vertical. Getting her started up right now. We got a smoke tube going on for a little extra smoky. One thing that I do the first couple times, I did it with just make sure my water tray and not spritzing. That gives you really good burnt ends, but once you refrigerate it, that bark becomes inedible, very tough. So we're using this one. I do also have the XL 820 XL, but this one's perfect for long, slower smokes. So we'll be getting the ham on shortly. You can see right now, just getting pounded with the smoke. That's what we're looking for. Some nice smoky goodness. We are just at about an hour. As we can see, scores are starting to separate a little bit. We're sitting around 70 degrees. And yeah, our first spritz is it's starting to, stick. Nothing fancy. I just used some water, some apple cider vinegar. Just give it a good spritz. You want to make sure to rotate around. Spritz it all. Now, if you want greater burnt ends, spritz less, but if you're planning on wanting to have stuff for leftovers and whatnot, spritz every hour or so. So our first spritzing, that's what we're looking at, looking good. Go. 2 hours in, woo, looking good. We're sitting around 100 degrees, give or take. So we're gonna give it another spritz, and we'll come back in an hour and check her out. We are at 3 hours, 275. Looking great. We got some good color going on. Bone's starting to protrude well. So we'll give it another spritz, and we'll come back in an hour and check her out. Temp-wise, we're at 115, 133, 155. So we might wrap this maybe about an hour and a half. So we gave it one last spritzing, and
we're gonna wrap it in tin foil. Our lowest probe is 156. When that gets to 170, we'll mix up the glaze. So I'm gonna wrap this up, throw it back in, and let her ride to 200. All right, it is time for the unwrapping of the ham. 7 hours on the spot, in the grill, 275. Wrap 200. Gosh, it is. Oh, the bone just bursting already. As we can see, it is going to be very pulled style. Very yum, very yums, very yum, yum, yum. So, get a little adjusting here. Take these bad boys out. And I think I just put that on my gloves. Oh, why did I put my gloves are over here? It's time to get shredded on my hand. What we'll do, let's bring the camera over yonder here. Yeah, we'll take that right out. Look at that. Boom. Nice, clean ham bone. Just pulled right out. Beautiful. The best thing about this is it renders all the fat down. Boom. And it just shreds. And it's still super. Oh yeah, look at that. That is some yum. There's a yummy bark. Perfect. Yeah. So, we're just going to get shredding here. And after we have it all shredded, we'll then pour some of the glaze on it. Now we're going to enter into a little experiment phase. So I've made the glaze here. I forgot to film it, but it is 1 cup brown sugar, 1/4 cup red wine vinegar, 1/2 cup of your preferred flavored bourbon, and 1 12-ounce jar of preserves of whatever flavor you choose. I find preserves tend to be the best. Today, doing a pineapple passion fruit glaze with some crown apple bourbon in there. So nice and citrusy. So, since I only season the outside of the ham, I'm going to, now it's all shredded, just give a little bit of this honey barbecue seasoning on here. Boom. Get some new gloves. We'll mix it in. I'm not, in the past, this is a bit of a smaller ham. There was a lot of fat on this one. My last one I had was, probably the most beautiful ham I had. Very little fat, very lean. Probably trimmed about 2 pounds off this, but I'm not going to use all the glaze because I'm finding it's a little bit, almost too much if I use all of it. I want to get a nice coating. And I just give a little thing and I just mix it up. Quick coat like that. then, after it's all been set and coated, mixed, I just kind of separate into 4 piles and vacuum seal. And then I have lunch meat, basically like this. Kind of eyeball it. Oh, I'm gonna drop some a little bit. That'll be for the cats. But yeah, and then boom, lunch meat for a month right there. So there it is, smoked cold ham on the pellet grill. I don't think I didn't mention it, but it was a competition hickory maple cherry pellets. So that is how I do my pulled smoked ham.